Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Once again, thank you for clicking on my video. Today we're going to be putting the back diff in and a couple of suspension parts. The last video I did I put the front diff in. It took a little bit longer than I wanted it to, so I had to stop it there. So yeah, so I'll get the back diff in today and put a few of the suspension bits on, basically the upper suspension arms. And I'll also, hopefully if there's still time, I'll show you what the motor looks like. So let's get started. So I need 4 of the MA2 screws, which I'm getting quickly. There we go. Pop that like that so you all can see. And I need suspension parts B13 and also the shock tower, which is A7. So let's have a look. I've got A7. I've got the shock tower off. Very interesting. Right, so that's that there. Now B13. It's 2-part trees with basically the same stuff. So you get a couple of spares, which is nice, of certain things. Right. The light's fading at the moment, so this will be the last upload for today. So this will be the 3rd one I've done today. Right, so now let's put those in, but first I'm going to put these little balls in. I don't know what you call it, but the tops of these suspension arms have got these little, I call them balls, but they're not really balls. I'll show you now. I guess it's for the suspension to pivot on. So they look like that. Weird little things. So yeah, so what it says is I have got to snap them in. So here we go, that's 1, so you can see it's in. And then another one, that's 2. So we've got him in as well. Right, and what it also says is pay note of direction. So those bits there you need to pay attention of. Have them in like that. Said you're supposed to grease the tops of the suspension, but I'm not going to do that. Alright. And get that part on there. So that's what it's going to look like. Cool. As you can see on there, it just slides over the pins, and then you've got the 2 screws in the front here. I need 2 of those. So yeah, let's get these screws in. Obviously, if you guys like the videos, hopefully you do. Hopefully I'm not too dry. Then in suggestions and that, you can let me know what kits you would like to see me build, obviously within reason, because I obviously buy everything myself and budgets are not very big. But I really do enjoy building kits, and if I can share that with you guys, well then I'll be happy. I think I need to get a different screwdriver, which I'll look at for the next videos next week when I do more. Because as you can see, I don't know if it's focusing, but that head is already wearing. I guess you get what you pay for in tools. If you buy cheap, you get cheap, I suppose. So yeah, well, we'll use it until it decides to die. Alright, so front is all done. All nice and free, which is good. So that one, it's fine. Oops, we lost a gear. Alright, so now we're going to put the rear diff in, and obviously I'm using bearings and not bushings. I hate bushings, so we'll pop them on there. And what's nice is in the manual it shows you what way to have the chassis, and then it shows you what way to put the stuff according to how the chassis is. So that's really cool. So it's kind of foolproof. If you put it in the wrong way, which I have done a couple of times, then it's your own fault. So just get a bit of grease on the gear. If you haven't watched my intro video, I went through all the parts that I bought for the build, and I said on there that I've bought a dry lube, because what a lot of the, well, especially Tamiya, what they tell you to do is put grease on the drive shafts and that before you put them in the cups. And when you do that, unfortunately what happens is dirt gets in and it makes like a grinding paste, and it eventually wears everything away. So I brought some dry lube to put in there, and we'll see how that goes. Hopefully it won't attract any dirt. So yeah, so that is now in nicely. Gears are nice and lubed up, as you can see. Got a fair amount of grease on there, all lubed up, which is good. So now I need the other gearbox case, which is somewhere. Here it is. Get that off. Just trim it down. May need to get another blade for when I cut the body. And we'll get to that part. Right. So now there's no additional pieces needed. So I can pop that on. Fantastic. As you can see there, now I need 4 of these screws, which are 3mm by 10mm. Luckily I've now done a few of them, so I know what they look like. Famous last words. Could end up putting the wrong ones in, but hey, presto. I'll soon realise that when I run out of certain screws. It's just down. Now I always tend to tighten screws in a cross pattern. Not that you have to, but the thing is, when you do that, you kind of ensure that you've spread the, for the lack of a better word, load. If you tighten that side, and you're putting it down that way, when you tighten those sides down, you might buckle the thing and it won't close properly. But maybe that's not that important on model cars, but I like to do it that way. Fantastic, so that's in. Gears are all nice in. And it is pretty smooth with those bearings. So the bearings were pretty good investment. They're not that expensive. They're not genuine Tamiya bearings. Genuine Tamiya bearings set you back quite a bit Tamiya hop-up parts are quite expensive. The kits are reasonably priced, but their hop-up parts are a bit expensive. So now, I'm not using a short wheelbase, so I won't be doing anything else that needs a short wheelbase. Okay, so it's only the front, so look at those weird things. Okay. So now we need this other part here, which is B7, I think. No, B8. Double. Good thing I read. Here we go. I think that is it, yeah. Yeah, let's just double check. A9. Oh, here we go. So, A2. There we go. Found it. There's my knife. Ah, there's my knife. Keep on losing things. So if we've got time at the end of this video, I'll just show you the brushless motor. I don't, for the purposes of building the kit, I don't think I'm going to solder the wires on just yet. I'll do that towards the end. So I can always just take it out and solder the wires. But, oh, nice. Yeah, note to self. Back of the screwdriver, I guess it has that cap for a reason, although it is very irritating. It stops you getting blisters, which I now have on the inside of my hand. So, anyway. Alright, so which way does this puppy go? So those bits face out. Really? Yeah, face out that way. Go, and we need another 2 3x10s. 3x10, 3x10. Here we go. That's the whole thing when you're filming with your phone. You can't really see what you're filming, so you kind of set the camera and then hope to goodness that at the end of it, it's actually managed to film what you've done. So. Okay, fantastic, those are on. So now I need 2 more of these lovely screws here. 1, 2, and these parts here, which are called B17s, the rear upper suspension arms. So I don't know why the one's got the funny things on the front and the other one's got the normal things, but I'm sure it all will become apparent. I guess I'm going to have to cut that off because it's a bit rubbery. It says in bold note directions, so let's try not get these on the wrong way around. So that wouldn't be very good, would it? Okay. So now, note direction. Ah, okay. It's got like a little ridge over there. And that, if I put the chassis this way according to how the book is, so all the little tips on that, shows you that that faces towards the inside of the chassis. So we'll get that there. Face towards the inside of the chassis. Alright, and now we need A7, which is the other suspension part. So that's the shock tower. See, that's where the body posts are going to go, and the shocks. You've got 2 mounting adjustments for your shocks, which is quite cool. I'm building this with the higher ground clearance because it is a rally car, and I'm not going to be racing it on a tarmac surface. I'm not going to be racing it at all, in fact. I'm just going to be playing with it. So we just pop that, slide that over there, and we'll put the 2 screws in. Now the owner's manual does tell you to put grease on the bits, but I'm not going to do that because I don't want it to get all messy. Oh, can't find the hole. There we go. I don't think the screwdriver is going to last until the end of the build. But like I say, when you buy cheap, you can't expect miracles. So you'll notice with these, when you bolt it and then if you have to take it apart or whatever, the screws do go in a bit easier the second time around, because the first time you're obviously just cutting the thread in. There we go, done very nicely in. So both diffs are in, both shock towers are on, both suspension uprights are in. And that is where I'm going to leave the build for today, because the next will be putting the motor in, and I'm going to decide whether or not I'm going to actually solder the wires or not. So I might just put the motor in. So what I could do, let me just see here quickly. Yeah, is pause the video and just put the motor in for now, and then yeah, you'll be able to have a look at it once I've got it in. So that's what I'm going to do. Alright, so I've got the motor. We're going to be putting it in just without soldering it, just so you can see the steps. So what's nice is these Trackstar motors, they come with their own kind of screws here. I'll have a look what those are for. Comes with a sensor cable, which is really nice. And then here is this version 2 of their stock spec motor, which looks really nice. I'm not going to take that away from it. It does look really nice. It is a cheap motor. It's £30 or $40 or whatever. I'm not sure what the conversion rate is, but I'll be needing to obviously solder onto there. What's nice is it's got 2 sensor ports and obviously adjustable timing. Now Tamiya do supply you with screws to mount the motor. I need to make sure that they fit the thread, which they do, and that is perfect. So I will be putting that on, and here is the Tamiya pinion. So what I will need to do is open the back again and get out. Hopefully I have, nope, but Tamiya are kind enough to give you a grub screw Allen key, so I'll be using that. So I need 2 MA4s, which are these 2 here, fine thread. These are machine threads, so they're fine threads for the motor. And the motor mount, which is this over here. You get 2 different types of motor mounts because you obviously get different teeth. So that's D9. So I'll be using D9, which is this one here. I think it's quite nice that they do include different motor mounts for you. Right. So let's get that out of the way. Ooh, shot myself in the face there. They give you this, which is a motor plate. It's a piece of card. So I don't really know what that's for. But the only thing I do know is it covers up the holes in the front It kind of worries me about cooling, but maybe I'm wrong, I don't know. So let's see now. Doesn't really have a forward and a back. Well, if I get these on, motor mounts are covered pretty much anyway, so I may as well note direction. So it's going to be top half and the bottom half. So it's going to be 122, flip it around. Oh, 1670. What tooth pinion have I got here? I've got a looks to be an 18 tooth, or 18 or a 19 tooth. So now I will flip that around, because the holes in that depend on what I've got a different supplement here that gives me a 19 tooth, so I'm going to be putting the 19 tooth in. So that is this is a supplement for the rally chassis, so it obviously wants you to use a rally gear ratio. So apparently they want you to put anti-wear grease around the edges of this to protect your motor from dust. So this is pretty much just a dust cover. I'll give it a go. I'm not going to put anti-wear grease on. But yeah, I'll give it a go. I'm not going to be driving in super dusty conditions, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. Okay, I want that up there, so that can go there. Then we need these screws in the 19 tooth hole. Which is that one there. And then you go in the corresponding bottom hole. So if you have a look, that's what it would look like. So now we will pop this dust cover over this. Just hope that the motor goes in the way I want it to. Okay, okay, that is a bit weighty, so yeah. So now I'll pop that in over there. Oh, fiddly things. Here we go. There's that one. There's that one there. So that is cool. I'm not going to tighten it because obviously I'm going to take the motor out again when I do the wires. This is just so you can obviously see how it goes in. So there you go. It's like a little gasket, I suppose, that would go on there. So that is that part done there. Oh, watch paper clips. Magnets are quite strong. So now we'll put the pinion on. And it goes in all the way. It needs to be 10 millimeters. Now, they used to give you a little tool so you could measure the gap, which they don't really do anymore. So there's a grab screw, tiny little screw. They strip extremely easily. Hopefully I will not strip this one. So we've got that there. 16 millimeters. is fine. Can always just adjust it in the chassis. So I'll put that there like that. And the motor, there's a slot in the chassis where the motor will go. And I'll check there. Yep, that's perfect actually. So yeah, let's tighten that. Okay, so that is perfect. Now, they have said that you must put grease on the pinion gear and the spur gear. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that because it just wears it out prematurely. And they have given me an extra grub screw, which is kind of nice of them. So now we need the gear cover, and that is this part over here, which will be parts tree D number 3. Very, very hard plastic, as you could hear by the snap. Do I, don't I? Don't really need to. Okay, so now I need 3 of these screws. So I'll put that there, like that. So for now, I need 3 of the normal 3x10 over there, and then underneath for the motor mount, I need another 2. So I'll pop those over there. Turn it over. Got a hole over there. And a hole over there. Next, to hold the motor mount down, I'm just going to let the thread bite so that I can put my screwdriver in its little box thing, I mean in its holder. Okay. And now you can screw the motor mount in. Done and done. Now I put these 3 in the top, and after I've put these 3 in, that will be the end of the video for today. And there you go, motor's in. So yeah, we got quite far today. We put the diffs in, built the diffs, put the bearings in, put the shafts in, suspension, top suspension arms, and the top suspension mounts. So yeah, if you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to keep up to date with my uploads, please click the announcement and then also subscribe if you'd like to. Have a great day. See you soon.